John Livier here, your host for Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding and Serious and Silliness Outcast. Great news. We have a brand new sponsor, Ideal Weight and Aesthetics. This place is a one-stop shop for weight loss, rejuvenation, energy, and anti-aging. This is a brand new startup company located at 160 Lanza Avenue, Garfield, New Jersey. Their number is 732-436-1924. You could also email them ideal@idealweightandaesthetics.com. This is basically what they do. They have a clinician look over all your blood work and they recommend what you should and should not do. They do weight loss, semaglutide and tirzepatide. They offer the NAD injections or drip, which is a brand new technology that everybody is jumping on. IV infusion, testosterone replacement therapy, and peptides, microneedling, and skin therapy. You guys know that I love to support small business. So really, give them a call, reach out. You'll feel better. It'll make you look better, and you'll be twice the person. You won't be disappointed. Take my word for it. Ideal Weight and Aesthetics. All right. Finally, it's getting a late start, but Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding. And what shit keeps just popping up on my fucking screen. So we got a newbie, Jay Homsi.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, man? Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got on my podcast?
All right. I
Was
I've been a
that
body.
first of all, was that you at the Garden State that said hello to me?
Yes, I tapped you on the shoulder the other day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a fucking
I,
idiot.
I
All right.
I was walking by real fast. I didn't
Yeah,
want to,
that's
bug you. I had clients on the show, so I was fucking all over the place.
all right.
Um, but yeah, man, I'm from Jersey. I got into bodybuilding as a teenager. I've been competing in this sport for about 10 years now. Super passionate about it. Was always an athlete my whole life. After like I want to say like 6 or 7 years competing, working under a lot of great coaches in our industry, um, I decided to, start helping people for free. Coaching them in the competitions or just getting them in shape. And I realized I was pretty good at it. And over time, I started to like develop, a bit of a squad going. And I always like loved the concept of a supplement store. And fortunately, this year, I was able to open my own store. So we've been open for 6 months now. It's Evolved Nutrition in East Hanover, New Jersey. Got all kinds of great products, supplements, vitamins, snacks, drinks, all that.
I got to get there to be honest with you because East Hanover, I think you're about 40 minutes from me.
He's right on Route 10, dude. He's in a good
Yeah.
demographic, a lot of traffic going up and down that area. So he's in a good spot for and there's a few gyms all local to him.
Yeah, a lot
And
of gyms in the area.
yeah,
I
Jay's
got
a
to
big supporter of I Prevail. He carries the whole line
Yep.
and does well with it.
Yeah.
What do you think of I Prevail subs?
Uh, great products. All really good formulations, very clean look. Um, I do want to support Jason and all the New Jersey brands, of course.
Yeah.
But his products definitely work. They're consistent. He's improved the flavoring systems, and they, continue to get better as we go.
Oh,
Thank you.
very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like his stuff. It's
yeah,
it's good stuff.
yeah. No, we
So
we do well with it.
I've been hearing mixed reviews about this new Superman.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what to make of it.
Me neither. I gotta watch it myself and see.
I
Because
don't like
I've been
remakes.
watching what happened.
I don't like remakes of anything. I just think all the original stuff is always the best.
Yeah, well, if that's the case with Superman, the thing is you'd still be with Steve Reeves and fucking
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
yeah. But I don't think anything is gonna be better than what's his name, Henry Cavill. I love that first one. You know, uh, but I don't know. Some people are saying that it's goofy. Other people are saying that it's pretty good. I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch it myself, but I'm getting like mixed reviews from it.
John,
Anyway,
John, you still go to Gold's in Totowa?
no, not anymore. No, I used
You know,
to.
that's where I originally met you. I was like a
Really?
teenager. Yeah. I remember I was getting ready for New Jersey State
Was I
Championships.
nice to you? I hope.
I remember I went there because I didn't want to talk to anybody. Because my normal like home gym was just way too crowded.
Mhm.
And I remember you used to always try to correct my form. I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And
I'm sorry.
no, but over time we got cool.
I got to stop doing that because I
and
still
then
do that. I still do that. I got to stop doing that.
and then like I stopped going there. I didn't see you for a while. All of a sudden you have a whole podcast now. So
Yeah.
congratulations, man. I'm happy to be here though.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I'm sorry for correcting your form. I hope I was
No,
accurate.
no, no. It taught me a lot, man. Now I
You
don't
won
need
the
to.
team nationals, so you went a long way.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
of me, you won the teen nationals. That's what it was.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I still do that. I got to stop doing that. But when I see the young kids, like they seem like they always seem like they're appreciative, but maybe in the back of their heads they're going, "What the fuck is this guy?" You
Right.
know. But
Probably.
probably, yeah. All right,
Probably.
that's it. From now on, I'm only fucking teaching the girls. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. So the topic that I want to talk about today, we're going to be bouncing around, right? We'll still talk about the Portugal Pro and Nathan bitching and moaning again, but he actually wasn't bitching and moaning this time. He left it to the fans to bitch and moan. But um, I s- it, I sent Jay. You weren't on the list, but I sent it to the rest of the guys, and it seems like Ronnie Coleman's strength is becoming uh, more and more common. Not that it's very common,
For that
but
guy squatting?
yeah, but it seems
Yeah,
like
you sent me that.
I sent you that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're referring to me? You
No,
asked me the question?
no, we're getting there. Don't get.
Oh,
Take it easy, man. We're getting
yeah.
there. um, no, who is the guy that I pulled up? I forgot. I'm gonna pull it up. But it
Yeah.
just seems like back in the late 90s when Ronnie was squatting 800 and deadlifting fucking 800 and whatnot, it seemed like he was the only guy doing it. Now it seems like, not that you have a lot of people doing it, but you have James Hollingshead, Akim Williams, you had Larry Wheels, of course, and now you got this guy, what's his name? I can't remember his name. You know what? Let's just pull him up. Let me just pull him up. And oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry about that.
No, why am I not surprised? Why am I
This guy, I don't know what his name is. Kyle Kirvay. So this is what we were looking at today. This is what I sent the guys today. And this guy squatted 855 raw, which is fucking knee wraps and a belt, 3 reps.
Holy shit.
It's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah,
And
what's he weigh?
308.
Yeah. And how tall is he?
I'm not sure, man. I don't know. Yeah, he's not a small dude, right? But then honestly, even here, I mean, he's benching 585 for reps. I mean, this guy's a fucking animal. And then even on here when he's deadlifting, I mean, it's just
Well, dude, you got to think of it in comparison. If he's doing a little more than two and a half times his body weight,
yeah.
that's not that crazy, dude. I know at 200 pounds, I was squatting 600, which
I
is,
get it.
you
I
know
get
what I
it,
mean?
right?
So,
I get
well, yeah, it is freaky, dude. It's freakish strength, but dude, it's evolution, dude. If we go
yeah,
back to the Arnold days, squatting 4 or 5 plates was
was
like, holy
insane.
shit. Yeah.
What's up, Luke?
Yo, gentlemen.
Luke, we
What's up,
got
Luke?
Come on.
What's up, Jason? What's up, Jay? What's up, Homsi? How you?
What's going on, brother?
Oh,
so
shoot.
we're basically talking about how it seems like Ronnie Coleman's strength is more common now than it was in the late 90s. Not that it's extremely common, but we see it with this guy. We've seen it with Akim Williams. We've seen it with James Hollingshead. Obviously, Larry Wheels, Stan Efferding. You kind of go down the list. And you've seen it where Ronnie was like, you know, that was like unheard of back in the late 90s, unless you were like a powerlifter. But even powerlifters weren't doing that shit. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like Jay, you said it was evolution, and I agree.
Johnny Jackson was doing it. There were
Johnny
guys
Jackson,
doing it.
yeah, right.
Yeah, there were guys doing it. The thing is, back then bodybuilders were a little more careful, and didn't want to risk injury. And Ronnie and Dorian were extremes, and Dorian had his injuries, which caused him to going to an earlier retirement maybe than he had planned. But that's the reason why some of these guys didn't use so much heavy weight. But there's an exception for all those rules. This guy is not, in contest type body fat percentage where he's got excess body fat, so his ligaments and tendons are probably a little more pliable. They have a little more durability in it. They have more fluid in it. And guys that are dieting down, this probably isn't the best choice of training for guys that are, in contest mode, stuff like
Right.
that. So, um,
Or
I'm not surprised to see it.
or the other J,
Yeah.
J number two, or could it be that social media just highlights these guys and we couldn't see it in the late 90s
Could
like
be.
we
Or
do,
maybe
Yeah,
it's
I mean
fake.
that is a
like we
thing,
do now? What's your
Uh,
take on it?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, there's just more cameras on more people out there, and I think like the information that's out there on social media is also a little more open. Like, you go on TikTok and YouTube and all this shit, and people are talking about cycles and how to enhance the physique and performance and all this stuff, and you got young kids like experimenting with all kinds of stuff, trying to either get stronger or way bigger than the average person would. And there's this guy from Jersey. Looks like he's training at Tillis.
That's what. Yeah, it is. It says it's
Yes.
Ellis Egg Harbor
All
Township, New
right.
Jersey. Yeah.
He's a local, strong guy.
Maybe I'll see if I could get him on the fucking show.
All right.
Um, Luke, what do you think? You think it's more common? You think it's just the training methods are different? Do you think it's evolution, or do you think social media just highlights it because we're able to see it more now?
Well, we're able to see it more because of social media. I mean, because I listen to the stories of the bodybuilders back in the day. I mean, even the people that weren't bodybuilders, the Barbarian brothers. I heard they used to
Mm.
go crazy in the gym.
Yeah,
Used to lift crazy weights back in the day. It's just we're able to see it. We can actually see what they're doing, have access to it faster.
yeah,
I mean, even Ronnie's videos, if that wouldn't pop up till like weeks later. Like people just started seeing Ronnie's videos at the end of his career.
yeah.
So,
You're right. If he wasn't Mr. Olympia, you probably wouldn't see those fucking videos. Yeah, you're
exactly.
right.
So,
Yeah. Or is it a combination of it all? Is it a combination of everything? Which is probably what it
if
is.
if I think if there was something like social media during Ronnie's time, we would have saw more of it.
Yeah, I think so. Because
Yeah.
also Dave Palumbo always talks about his old training partner that they're still friends. What's his name?
Jimmy?
Yeah, Jimmy the Bull,
Yeah,
saying
Jimmy
he
the
was
Bull,
he
he
always
was,
talked
he was
about how.
fucking strong.
What'd you
He,
say?
Jimmy the Bull was strong back in the day. They said too.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I've heard he was crazy strong too. So, because it just seems like you're getting a lot more freaks. But I think that's probably what it is. It's probably social media just highlights it because you can get guys like if you didn't have social media, we probably wouldn't know who Larry Wheels was, right? I mean, that's probably the majority of it. But I think it's a combination of everything. I think it's evolution, training styles, and the fact that everybody's under a spotlight now with social media. But this kid just impressed the hell out of me because I haven't seen strength like this. Like even Akim, even though he's very strong, doesn't train like this anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong.
And he shouldn't.
Yeah, right. And even Hollingshead. Um, although Hollingshead still squats and deadlifts heavy.
I think
What did
eventually
you,
these guys all get weaker, though. It's not like nobody stays that way.
Say that
Like
yeah,
again.
eventually these guys like lose the ability to train that way consistently. You just mentioned Akeem, he's getting a little older.
Yeah.
He's got a few more years left in him probably competing. Like probably doesn't want to risk any like crazy injuries. So I don't think, he has any business squatting 900 pounds or anything. And what's the point? I mean, he's not gonna get like even bigger.
Right.
He's maxed out the mass he's put on, and it's just really bringing conditioning in at this point to be the best version of himself.
Yeah, no, I fully agree on that aspect, and it makes all the sense in the world. Because what's the point? You're only going to shorten your career as a bodybuilder.
Yeah, yeah.
Fully get it. Uh, I don't know, because I even see, like benching 500 it just seems like it's fucking common now, you know?
Dude, you're with this shit, dude. You're one rep away from a career-ending injury.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just not fucking worth it. You know, but it did like look at guys running the 40 in college or in the combine.
Yep.
You
Right.
know, years ago it was Bo Jackson and it was Herschel and it was and now, dude, these guys are coming up and they're fucking, the mind is a powerful thing, right? And
What do
the
you got?
more you see things get done, the more your horizons expand. And then you have the ability, hey, now that's obtainable. Now I'm going to train for that. Then you reach that. Well, now that's obtainable. Now let me go for this. And in 10 years, it's going to be even more than that, you know?
Yeah. 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 No, I I agree. The simple, and when I don't use the word simple in a good way. I use it when I say simple, I mean the unintelligent um answer would be, "Oh, these guys are just using so much steroids." And I don't think that's at that. I mean, they are using steroids. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think that's the case because guys were stronger then. I think the case is the majority of. I think it's just under a spotlight now. I think you could just set up a phone, squat 800, and you're a nobody, and you put it on social media, and people go, "What the fuck is that?" You know, because this guy is an IFBB pro, but doesn't look like he's a good pro. You know, it looks like he's like maybe third tier pro, if that. You know, I didn't hear of him until this video popped up today, and he's just a fucking beast in the gym. And I've always been a fan of the beast in the gym. That's why I always liked, you know, like I love watching Bruno Santos's videos because he's a monster in the gym. And remember the first time I went to, not the first time, but the last time I went to Diamond last year, and I saw Luke training like a fucking animal, and I'm like, oh, okay, I got to get this guy on my fucking show. You know, I've always been a fan of that. The slow, methodical, let me feel the muscle and contraction. Although it is the right way to do it, and that's the way I train now, it was never very motivational. Like who's more motivational to watch? Like Phil Heath when he would do everything slow, methodical, mind muscle connection, or Branch Warren and Johnny Jackson when they would go in there like psychopaths and just destroy the gym.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Who doesn't enjoy seeing that, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Exactly.
but who's the guy winning though? You know,
Fully agree. Fully agree. But if I'm going to go to the gym and I want to, look at a video before I go,
you want
there's
to
like
watch Branch Warren.
there's
Yeah,
what yeah, I'm watching Branch Warren and Johnny Jackson. Those are the two fucking lunatics that I'm watching. You
yeah.
know.
You know, Lukeman was one of the first friends I made at Diamond Gym. One of the first buddies I made.
I remember when you first came in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little kid.
How old are you now, Jay?
I'm 27. I was 17 when I went to Diamond Gym the first
Really?
time. Yeah.
And where'd you grow up?
I'm originally from Patterson. I now live in Parsippany.
Okay.
So a bit of a demographic change. A lot of Indians, but you get over the smell.
Dots are You're coming back. Dots are. I'm assuming you mean dots, not feathers, because it's not.
You're
Yeah.
coming back.
Yeah. 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 Smell or casinos.
Yeah.
Did you see that one I sent? Oh, who did you send it to me, Luke?
Yeah, I think I did. Either I sent it or you. It was on it. On you.
Well, the kid come running into his Indian parents, and he goes,
Oh yeah, I
Mom.
said that. I said
You
that.
sent that, right? He said, "Mom, Dad, you won't
started
believe it. I
using
started using
deodorant."
deodorant." And the father goes, "Get the fuck out of my house." Listen, certain cultures are stinkier than others. It's okay. It is what it is. You know what I mean? We all, it is. It is what it is. Anyway, all right. So people are talking about Nathan Diasha, whether he deserves second or third, and I can't believe like we're fucking splitting hairs at this point at the Portugal Pro. Like, does it really matter if he came in second or third? He didn't win. I don't know.
That's all anyone cares about is the winner. The winner goes to the Olympia. So I mean,
Yeah,
The payout is a little different.
what'd you say?
The payout is a little different.
Yeah, I get it. I fully get it. But if you're
No, dude, as an athlete, if I deserve second, I want fucking second.
I see what you're saying.
Now, I'm not saying Nathan did or he didn't. I didn't judge it. I wasn't there. I saw pictures. Big fucking difference, you
Yeah.
know. But dude, if I took fourth and deserve fourth, I don't want to be sixth. I want to be fourth.
Yeah.
Because to an athlete, I don't know how anybody else thinks, but I only thought of myself as I was only as good as the guys I beat.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, I might have taken third or second or whatever or fourth, but I didn't beat those top three guys or I didn't beat those top four guys. So that would hinder me. Oh, I beat these guys. Well, okay, whatever. And no disrespect to them, but
Right.
I'm more upset about the guys. And there were shows where I thought I deserved a better placing, and people said that to me. Yeah, but what's the difference? Well, it does matter as an athlete. It definitely matters.
Yeah.
Another thing is,
Yeah.
Nathan's a great bodybuilder. He's won a ton of shows, but the judges also could be looking at it like this guy hasn't been able to make it to the freaking Olympia and how many freaking years, and he's been qualified. Why not give it to somebody who's actually going to get there and throw a wrench in the lineup? You know,
Yeah. It's all a possibility, but what it comes down to is that he wasn't the clear winner at Dubai. He wasn't the clear winner at Portugal. In Dubai, he complained that he should have won when he came in fourth. Here he's not complaining. The fans are complaining that he should have got second as opposed to third. I think people are just kind of like, dude, let's face reality. You're splitting hairs at this point. You complain a lot. let's move the fuck on. Nobody's taking away the 12 pro wins you have. He's a fantastic bodybuilder. Um, is it possible that it's politics that they don't want him? I don't think so. I think he's a big name. Plus, he didn't win. He shouldn't have won Dubai, and he certainly shouldn't have won Portugal. I think who won should have won. I think Tabani should have won Portugal, and I mean Dubai, and I think Nexzilla should have won Portugal. I think they got it right. I don't think they got it. I don't think they got it wrong, and I don't think he really got screwed on either one of them. To be honest with you, second or third, I wasn't. I thought he deserved second, but I wasn't like overly pissed, like oh he got fucked. It wasn't like Bruno was like that off. You know what I mean? And it was Bruno looked good. Nexzilla was better than he was. This was the best Nexzilla we saw.
those are also two guys that could like disrupt the top 10. Like, why wouldn't you want to see those guys battle it out
Right.
with who we got going on right now? Like, we've been wanting to see them both, in this lineup. Tabani has had some complications, and Nexzilla, he's had to shrink his neck. I don't know. Finally hit his conditioning.
Yeah.
Guy's a freak though,
Yeah,
for
he
sure.
definitely is a freak. And what do you think, Jay? You think this is splitting hairs, or you think it's significant? Not from I understand how a competitive athlete's point of view. I get it, right? But do you think it's splitting hairs with the fan? The fans are splitting hairs for some fucking reason.
Well, look, fans of him are always going to think he deserves better, and fans of everybody else are always going to think their guy deserves the best. The reality is we weren't there.
Yeah.
And, judging off pictures and video is completely different from being there.
Yeah.
So what the judges were looking at could be a completely different visual than what we saw, on social media. So, um, the judging crew, I believe, is mixed, but it's from that area. They're not going to spend thousands of dollars flying people from all over the world.
Yeah.
They're going to keep the local as they can.
Right.
So I think it's, is it partial? Maybe a little, maybe. But I think it was judged with utmost integrity.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think anything.
So dude, he took third. Get over it, let him move on, and let him worry about getting fucking into the States and
Yeah, right.
competing at the big show where he needs to be.
Luke, do you think that it's possible that he doesn't want to admit that he can't get to the Olympia because it might hurt his contracts, his endorsements?
That'll hurt his contracts, and then that is if you like if you publicly say that I can't make it to the Olympia, now you're going into the shows, and I mean, you put something. We're human beings. Once you put something out there, that's going to stick in our minds. It doesn't matter whether we have a favorite or not. If you're telling us that, oh, I can't make it to the U.S. no matter what I do, the judges are going to automatically start like subconsciously picking not you. They're not
Yeah,
going to
that's
pick you.
actually a very
They're,
good point.
they're
Yeah.
gonna they're not gonna they're gonna say, let's give someone a chance that can actually make it.
Right.
Because why would we give you the win when you know for sure you've already made it known that you can't make it to the US? There's no way of you making it to the US. Why would we give you the win? Why would we give it to you? Even if you earned it,
Yeah.
it still makes no sense because we're not going to see you at the Olympia. So, that's his biggest problem right there. He probably would get more wins or better placings if it was a known factor that he was going to be in the U.S.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if Hadi Trooper was doing them shows, he would, and everyone knows he can get to the U.S. He's winning shows. He probably win every show he does.
Yeah. But he does fucking deserve to win, though. That guy's
Yeah,
a monster. That guy's fucking
yeah.
great.
So
First, I wouldn't hold your breath on Tabani or Hadi getting to the Olympia this year. That's for sure.
yeah.
But Jay, you've been signed to like big contracts. Are there any clauses in these contracts that say if you make it to the Olympia, you have to compete at the Olympia to represent whatever sponsor is sponsoring you?
Um, so every contract's different and it's specified for the individual. Anybody who's signing Nathan, they have to have in full consideration that he hasn't been allowed into the States for the past few years. Chances are he's not going to get there again.
Right.
So for that to be a contractual obligation, I don't think so. It might be a bonus, and like I don't know if anybody's going to newly sign him thinking he has Olympia aspirations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but to be honest, dude, with contracts nowadays, it's more like unless it's a big company that's going to be at the Olympia, a big sponsor of the Olympia that wants their athletes there, it's all NIL, dude. It's all name, image, and likeness. And if Nathan Asher could
Right.
sell product or whoever, or sell weightlifting machines or gear or clothing, whatever he's selling,
He
then
has
that's
a.
what they're going to utilize him for.
You know what? You're absolutely right. He has a huge following. I don't know if he blocked me. I don't think he did.
To those guys, there's guys that never have to compete that have great,
Oh, I
you
thought he
know,
would have more followers than that. Not that it's bad,
yeah.
but I thought he was gonna have. I thought I didn't know he was gonna have only 130,000. Regan Grimes is over a million. I really thought he would have had more than that. Not that it's
Well,
bad. It's not.
he's sexier.
He's what?
He's sexier.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. If that's the case. If that's the case. I would have had. Look at this son of a bitch. I guess he likes fucking Lambos in a certain color, bastard. But yeah, man. I just don't. I don't think that he does. I don't think he got fucked this year. I think he landed where he should have landed. All right, maybe he deserves second and not third, but it wasn't like a complete blowout.
Right.
And I thought he deserved fourth. I mean, at Dubai. I mean, you had Tabani, then you had Bonac, and then you had what's the guy's name that I like? Help me out, Luke. I'm fucking drawing a blank here.
Antonio.
Tonio, and then you had him. And you could make the argument going back and forth again with Bonac and Tonio. But I thought Nathan deserved fourth in that. I didn't think he got fucked at all. I think those other guys have better structure and had, the structure was because they came in just as hard and dialed in as he did. What do you think? The other Jay, Evolve Jay.
I mean, I think the placings were accurate, and these guys were placed as they should be placed. Nathan looked great, but when the other athletes bring it, they deserve the higher placings, and these judges are trained to give the most honest opinion. Um, Again, like what I was saying before, like they look at like who's thriving in the sport, who's going to bring the highest level of competition, come, Mr. Olympia time. These are the guys we're going to roll with. Bonac has competed in multiple shows this year, has improved show to show. Um, Tonio Burton, huge prospect. The guy's been getting better every single year. Nathan Diasha, he's a little older. Not old, but he has been competing a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And what are we
I'm
doing
listening.
here?
I'm listening. Good. We're
And
listening.
and
Don't let this distract you.
he's
No.
distracting me. Yeah, man. Nathan is one of those athletes that's been qualifying for the Mr. Olympia for several years now, and for some reason, through whatever complications he's got over there in the UK, hasn't been able to even get in the States. So, for the sport, why are we going to give this guy all this attention, and he's just going to keep complaining and causing all this drama? Nobody wants to hear all that.
Me neither.
What the fuck?
All right. Sorry. There's no Lee Priest here. I had to do something.
Yeah, man. It was hard to think.
That's all right. Yeah, speaking of Lee, what'd you say?
Like you're waterboarding him.
Yeah, I love how everybody says they don't like big tits, and then once I pull a big tit girl on the screen, everybody's like, Lee is in Europe. That's why he's not with us today. I spoke to him this morning. He is traveling to Europe. That guy's got to move out of Australia. Every time he gets on a plane, it's 20 hours, 30 hours. Holy shit.
It's fucking
insane. I don't know how he does it. But yeah, he's going to his European tour, so he's not going to be back with us for a couple of weeks. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, the next show is like the Chicago Masters Pro, which nobody's going to pay attention to, except Vinny Galante. He's the only one that's going to be paying. and after that is Tampa, and that's at the end of the month. And I don't know anybody who is doing Tampa as of yet. Has anybody heard of anybody doing Tampa? The list isn't out yet.
What's Hunter Labrada doing this year? I haven't heard his name all year.
Me neither. I don't think he's competing this year.
He wrapped it up. I think he said he wrapped it up for the year.
Yeah, I don't think he's competing this year.
I think he said he's done for this year.
So I think
that happened earlier this year.
Yeah, I think you're right, because I think he just took. I don't know why he took the year off. If it was to,
I think because he did 2 shows last year, so he's going to call it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We need a 2-year hiatus.
One show year max.
Hunter Labrada seems like
crazy here.
What'd you say, Jay?
Let's not get crazy here.
Yeah, really. Hunter Labrada seems like the kind of bodybuilder that I think I might be wrong. I think he's genetically fulfilled his potential.
He's a little maxed out.
Yeah, that's my opinion. I don't know.
I mean, that's a lot of the young guys, I think.
Hey.
I mean, look at Nick Walker. I mean, I'm a Jersey guy and Walker fan, but where else is he going to grow? He's not going to go sideways.
No, right. But he doesn't have to put any more size on. Not that Hunter does, but Nick really came in and brought it this year. He really dialed it in. You could see the difference in his conditioning.
You think so? At that New York Pro?
At Pittsburgh and New York.
I was there. I thought he looked better. I think his best showing was probably that Arnold he won a couple years ago. And that one year he didn't make it to Olympia. He got injured.
Yeah.
I thought that was, in my opinion, that was one of his best packages.
I thought him at Pittsburgh and New York this year was phenomenal, especially from the back.
The back shot was crazy.
Especially when he went against Derek. Because nobody could rival Derek in his rear double bicep, and he did. I mean, it was very close. But Hunter reminds me of the kind of bodybuilder that he is, kind of genetically fulfilled his potential. I don't see him kind of changing his structure, which he can. He has that little bottom pouch on the midsection.
Maybe his dad just he'll never be like me.
Well, that's the problem, right? I always say people that are children of the greats go do something else, because everybody's going to be comparing.
Kind of like Sergio.
Right.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna
Probably talks to his dad, and his dad's like, "Yeah, I mean, you'll never touch this, you know, like
yeah.
just pack it in, buddy."
I think they
You're gonna
should
get blocked for that, Jay. You're gonna get blocked. You're gonna get blocked.
yeah,
They get blocked, dude.
not too many Michael Douglases or Barry Bonds in the world.
Michael Douglas.
Yeah, well, Michael Douglas surpassed his father, right? That's Kirk.
Yeah.
And
Or the Manning brothers. The Manning brothers.
Right. Right. Barry Bonds clearly surpassed his father, but not too many of them do that. Most of them are in the shadow of their great fathers, and it's like maybe you should fucking do something else, you know? Yeah, maybe what the fuck?
I think with Hunter, and it's disappointing for me because I really thought he had tremendous potential when he earned his pro card, and
Yeah.
and I just think he's his biggest problem. And I think Jay, we've talked about this before. You know, when you have somebody at this level who still hasn't learned how to peak for a show yet, and they continuously ruin opportunities by taking all this time off from one show to the next.
Yeah.
It's another year. Okay, he did one show, he didn't peak it right. I'll do it next year. He misses his peak. Okay, then it's again next year. And dude, years have gone by. You still haven't learned how to peak. Learn how to peak. And now you could take a whole year off and train for that one show, hit your peak right, and do what you're capable of doing. But it seems like everything is a learning experience. And at this point, I think with I don't know if it's a hernia or the stomach distension, the issue with his pec. And wasn't there a bicep issue also with him?
I don't know. Maybe I'm not sure.
He's also changed coaches a few times, and maybe he just hasn't like found the right guidance yet. And you know, there's a whole lot of things that goes into it. And the expectations are getting higher and higher every year. You know,
no, I get it, but with somebody like Hunter who has an arsenal,
Yeah.
you know, of people in his
yeah,
corner.
yeah, he's got it all.
Dude,
Yeah,
and not for nothing, dude, he's not a dummy. And his father, you know, is his father, you know.
Right.
So if you can't learn how to do that on your own at that level, there's something to be said for that.
So it's a possibility that he's very comfortable financially. It's a possibility that he just isn't as competitive as his father is. It's possible that it's the genetic that he reached his limit genetically.
I mean, why kill yourself in this sport when your family is you're inherited a freaking $1 million business? Like, you know, whether you compete or not, he could be a nerd and sit in his bedroom all day and still have the name Labrada, you know. Like, why put your health at risk and, you know, spend all this money competing, you know, to maybe win a show and maybe get paid, you know. And again, like, you know, if he didn't have like top 3 level potential when he was competing, you know, why stress yourself out, you know? And I think you know, maybe he has other priorities right now at the moment.
Yeah, okay, it could be priorities, it could be family. I get it, fully get it. But if you are going to, if you choose your path, if you choose this path, and you do not fulfill every possibility, and people say, if people look at you and go, you've done everything you can, you've won a few shows, you are a great bodybuilder, you know, you got to get to the point where people look at you and don't see your father, right? Which is very difficult. But if you're going to go down this path,
I think that's possible, though.
yeah, it is very possible. It's very possible. Because I named 2 guys that did it, right? 3 guys.
Yeah, you know, but it's a big hill to climb, you know.
If you're going to go down through this path, you have to realize that this is going to be your shot. You know, this is going to be things that people are going to constantly say, and if you don't do the best you possibly can and do better than people think you can, you're always going to be compared to your father. It's always going to be he's not his father. Perfect example is oh God, Jesus Christ. Who's the
Jesus Christ? Yeah.
Who?
Jesus
Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking of Jesus Christ.
LeBron James.
Right?
Yeah, LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Yeah, Brownie James. Yeah, that's one. But the other guy I was thinking of was
Brownie.
Yeah. The other guy that I was well, that's his son's nickname, right?
Ronnie.
Ronnie, yeah, whatever. Ronnie, Brownie, same shit. The other guy I was thinking of was Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Yeah.
Uh,
You know, dude, like do something else, really. Like when your father is the greatest fist fighter that ever lived, like fucking pick another profession, man. You know, um, because his whole life, 'cause I think he's fighting. What's his name next? Oh
Jake
no,
Paul.
oh no, he didn't. He fought him already. Yeah, and it was a snoozer. You know, his whole life he's gonna hear you were nothing like your father. You were nothing like your father. The best example I can give of somebody who actually understood that and didn't do it was Mel Brooks' son. Mel Brooks' son became a graphic novelist, Max Brooks. He actually wrote World War Z.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't become a comedian or a playwright or a screenwriter or anything like that. He was a graphic novelist and became very successful at that. And
What about his
so
other son?
I don't know. I don't know how many fucking kids he's got.
You
Um,
remember Super Dave Osborne?
yeah, yeah, I remember that.
That was one of his sons.
That was Mel Brooks' son?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me see. Let's look that up. Because if that's the case, oh dear Lord, one more peek at this person. And then
Dude.
hold on. Don't worry.
John,
Okay.
I think we have a problem, John.
I'll get rid of her. Me, you're the one they should only
Somebody.
know.
I
You.
know.
They should only know. You. Where are we? WWE. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Super Dave Osborne.
Yeah.
His show is so fucking
It
cool.
was great. It was
I,
great.
and I remember that.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Albert Brooks. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Albert Brooks' brother.
All right, so Super Dave is a character. All right, got it. What's his real name? Bob Einstein.
Yeah.
Let's see. Was it? Did it give his private life?
It
Before
should.
my time.
It doesn't say who is
Father. Type up
Gen-
Super Dave Osborne's father.
Super Dave Osborne's father.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
A lot.
All right. Let's father Bob Einstein.
No, I don't know what I'm talking about then.
Yeah, that's okay.
But he was somebody in the business also, though.
Do you think Albert? I don't think Albert Brooks has any relation to Mel Brooks.
No, no, no.
Uh, Albert Brooks. This guy sucked. I don't even know how he made it. He fucking sucked. He was never funny. He's never a good actor. He sucked. Anyway, you notice what all these guys that we just talked about had in common? Just just throwing it out there. That might be one of the reasons why they were shitty and made it. That's all I'm saying. It might be the little hats that help. That's all.
Dude, Mel Brooks
Right.
was a legend.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Mel Brooks is definitely a legend. But
Yeah.
there are Jewish people in Hollywood that have made it and should have never made it, like Albert Brooks, Super Dave Osborne. Ain't this a bitch?
They're in a cult.
What'd you say?
They're in like a cult. They work together.
It's unbelievable. Jay's half Jewish, so watch what you say. So, what the hell else were we talking about? Oh,
Hunter.
Hunter Labrada. Like, I think Akim Williams has fulfilled his genetic potential. I don't see him getting any better or worse. I think he has kind of gotten, and he's had an outstanding career. Don't get me wrong, right? So it possibly might be it. Or at the same time, I don't know. He's too young to say that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's he doesn't have it in his stomach anymore. Maybe he just doesn't have it in his heart. I don't know. But you could say the same argument for Sergio. Sergio did one show. He showed up decent, and then we were all hoping he would do another one, and he just kind of packed it in this year. What do you think, Holmesy?
About Sergio or Hunter?
Both.
Okay. Hunter, I mean, if I was in his shoes, I'd be done competing. I'm good. I got nothing left to prove, and I'm not gonna win the Mr. Olympia. I'm good. Like, why kill myself
Just
for
work for
this?
your father.
Yeah, just work for my dad and then take over the business.
Yeah.
Sergio, I feel like that guy has taken every single avenue, route, trainer, coach living in Dubai, going to Cali, you know, training with
Dorian and
uh,
Steve.
all these guys, and it's just I don't know. He just kind of misses every time. I'm not really sure what the issue is. Like structurally, he's very impressive. You know, his posing is fantastic, but I think it's like again like a peaking issue. Going back to what Jason mentioned, and I think he gets in his head a lot. Like I don't know if you ever watch any interviews um, of him of like getting talking about whatever shows he's getting ready for. It feels like he's one of those people that kind of like loses confidence like the closer they get. They start getting nervous and overthinking and
Yeah,
start
you
like
think
doubt
so?
themselves a little bit. I
Yeah.
kind of get that off of him. Not that I ever met him before. But those people that like, confidence is everything. Like you could be lights out, peeled, but if you shit the bed come game day, like it doesn't matter. It's you compete that day.
Right. No, and of course he's working with Boss of Outlaw, like everybody else is. I know he did one show. I forgot what show he did. I think I don't remember what show. Oh, he did the Legion, right? Is that what he did?
I believe so.
Right? What was it? What show was this? 5 weeks ago. He did good. He didn't do great. I was hoping that he would continue to do another show because, like Jay said, sometimes it takes a few shows before you peak right, and I was really hoping that he would do that. But he didn't. In his case, I think he's kind of like, he's older now and he's got a good girl in his corner, and maybe he's looking to, leave bodybuilding behind him, and maybe start a family and maybe do some business or whatever the case may be. That's how I look at Sergio. With Hunter, you might be right. It might be the case where he just doesn't, maybe he came in on the pudding. You know what I mean? He came in cashed up. Maybe he doesn't have the drive. I don't know.
Oh, dude, hold on. Quick news flash. Einstein, Super Dave, and Mel Brooks or Albert Brooks are brothers. He changed his last name.
Ah,
Yeah,
why would he change his last name?
he said when he started his career, he said the other guy named Albert Einstein. He said the other guy's name was Albert Einstein, so he changed it to Albert Brooks.
Oh, that I get. I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah. I guess that's pretty good. It's like Spanish people when they're still naming their kids Jesus. Like, stop calling your kid Jesus. I know it's pronounced Jesus, but we all know what it is. Just that should be a name that's retired. Like Mickey. Don't don't call your kid Jesus anymore. Because odds are he's going to be like a plumber or something. And I know Jesus was a carpenter. I get it, but let's retire that name. You know what I mean? Anyway, um, what else is happening? Ronnie seems to be doing better, from what I
Yeah.
understand. Is he out? Is he out of?
I don't know if he's out, but
I don't know if he's out
the,
of.
the word was there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. So I think he is not in any kind of coma. I think he's awake. Fuad,
Uh,
though, did you see him?
he looks real
Fuad is
fucked
back
up.
in the gym.
Yeah, I saw him for doing the little one-arm curl.
Yeah, did you see that? I still would like to know what's happening with his left arm. But
Well,
his left arm, he has no feeling in his left arm whatsoever at all.
yeah,
But
that could be a stroke or
no, that's from the accident.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it seemed like I got real messed up from that bike accident he went through.
yeah.
Oh, you're talking about
Fuad.
What?
what? Yeah, that's probably from he broke his neck.
Yeah.
So that's probably from some nerve damage in his neck, and supposedly I heard he was getting some sensation. It's like the shit I'm going through for my surgery. But
You
I
guys,
mean, his
you guys know why his face got so sunken in? He looked like he just got ready for a bodybuilding show. Like why was he just like
Well, he was in the hospital for a while. He probably wasn't eating anything. He was probably nothing but intravenous.
starved them?
dude? I lost 15 pounds in 2 days after my surgery,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
You're
fucked
not,
up.
you're just
and
not
it's just
eating.
the stress of the surgery. Dude, your body's eating away to survive.
Did you look better? Were you prettier? Like
Yeah, arms
Then
look really sexy.
then food, yeah, dude. I was a little sexy.
your cheekbones were more defined.
they're always fun. I wore it. I wore the look a little better.
Oh yeah.
I was in the hospital when I had pancreatitis last month, and
Yeah.
yeah, I lost some weight. I had to like I got, I remember getting up to go to the bathroom like 2 days in the hospital, eating nothing. I went, oh shit, I got a six pack. I didn't even try. I know. Yeah, yeah.
That's one way
Holy,
to do it.
yeah. Tell me about it. Um, yeah. So he's back in the gym. He's trying. Obviously, he's just doing some cardio and doing some light work, but that's definitely that's definitely light at the end of the tunnel, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was he was really fucked up. Jesus. Oh yeah, this is him showing you his hands that he has some fucking feeling in it. Jesus Christ.
Dude, to be honest, like I really have to commend him
Yeah, me too.
because even to put pictures up of it, I wouldn't want anybody to see me like that.
No, me neither.
And I'm not a vain guy, but I just, God forbid something happened. Wouldn't want to be remembered that way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that really shows character, man, for him to put pictures up in his weakened condition, in his vulnerable state.
It's a
I wish him all the best.
it's a humbling experience because before the accident, not too many people had nice things to say about Fawad.
That's right. Yeah.
I didn't know him personally. Like, he never did anything to me, but from what I was hearing, and this is like a very, very humble, because he really doesn't have to do this. It's a
No,
humbling experience
You're
that he's
right. Yeah.
doing everyone. Like, I'm human too, so, you
right.
know, it's
Yeah, says a lot.
No, it happens to be really true. And I think you're right. That's his brother sleeping right there. But I think if I couldn't feel my left arm, I had no ability in my left arm, I would that would drive me crazy. That would fucking drive me nuts. I don't know. I would have to have some serious reassurance from the doctors, like and be like, is my left arm gonna go back to normal? Because
Well, dude, imagine if you couldn't care for yourself. You know what I mean?
right,
Like,
yeah,
dude, I'd fucking want to go, dude.
oh,
I,
absolutely,
you
yeah.
know, I
And
wouldn't
I
want to put that burden on my wife or loved ones or, like, fuck, dude. That's a tough position to be in.
did you ever see? You reminded me of a movie. Did you ever see that movie, Three Billboards of Ebbing, Missouri, or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
When
With
Woody Harrelson has cancer and
oh, no.
yeah, well, in that movie, Woody Harrelson is the sheriff, but there's a side story. The movie is about the girl whose daughter got
What's kidnapped?
raped and
Yeah, yeah.
killed.
Oh, that's with Sam what's his name?
Yeah, yeah,
He
right.
was fucking great in that,
Oh, it
dude.
was fucking
When they
amazing.
threw him out the window.
Did you ever see? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Did you ever see the movie, Luke?
oh, I haven't seen that.
You got to see it.
Billboards of something. It's something
Yeah,
billboard.
Three
Three
Billboards of
billboards.
Ebbing,
Yeah,
Missouri, I think it's called. Did you ever
something
see
like
it,
that.
Jay? The
Yeah.
other Jay?
I don't think so.
Phenomenal movie, and you don't
Sounds
get a
good.
good movie very often nowadays.
No, we don't.
Phenomenal movie, but in the movie, there's this
The mother's fucking dynamite.
right. The mother's great. Yeah, she won Best Actress for that
Yeah,
role.
yeah, she
Yeah.
got the award for that.
But Woody Harrelson plays the sheriff in that town, and there's a side story to the movie
That's the
where
one
he
where he
turns
was
out to
really,
have
really
cancer.
thin. Is
What'd you
that the
say?
That's the movie where he was really, really thin, and that
Which one?
Woody Harrelson was really thin. I think I
No,
don't know if I okay.
no, 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 no. But there's a side story to the movie where Woody Harrelson gets cancer, and it's terminal, and I'm not going to give it away, but I'm not going to give the whole story away, but
Well, dude, it's 10 years old. No spoiler alert here.
yeah,
You could.
right. Good point. Yeah, good
They
point.
haven't even. Oh, dude, I was gonna see it tomorrow. You ruined it for me.
Yeah, yeah, right, right, right. Yeah, the movie is 10 years old, which was the last time they actually made a good goddamn movie.
Yeah,
But
you're wrong.
there's and he's a dedicated sheriff, and there's this one scene where he takes the day off from work and he just spends the whole day with his family, knowing but
Yeah,
even as the
that's
audience
it.
member, you don't know, right? Watching the movie, you don't realize it. And then he puts his kids to bed and he kisses them to good night, and then his daughter says, could we do this again tomorrow? And he goes, yeah, well, I'll think about it maybe. And he spent the last day with his family, his daughters and his wife, because he knew he had terminal cancer, and
Yeah,
he didn't want to just decompose in front of his family. So that night he self-deleted, and he puts a mask over his head. He puts a note on his fucking head, like, is saying, like, tell his wife to go get some, but it leaves a note for his wife. And it was all because he knew he didn't want him to be a shell of himself after the cancer was over. So he just outed it, that just left it that way. And it was fucking powerful movie, man. It was
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Woody Harrelson's a good fucking actor. Did you ever see that one where he plays the drug dealer, drug nut job from Ramapo, New Jersey? It's called hold on, wait a minute. He's a co-star. Christian Bale stars in it. It's Christian Bale, Casey Affleck. What the fuck is the name of the movie?
Yeah, I never saw that.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. It's fucking great. Let me see. Hold on. Actually, let's do it in front of everybody, so people.
Did I tell you about Lioness, the series
No.
on Paramount?
Oh, I didn't watch it. Everybody fucking talked about that shit, man. How was it?
It's fucking great, dude.
Everybody was talking. I gotta try it because everybody who watched it said it was good.
We just started watching The Sinner.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Jessica Biel. Holy shit, dude!
Which season are you on?
We're on the first season.
Yeah,
and we're like 4 or 5 episodes in. But
yeah,
what the fuck, dude?
Okay, that's a good one. I gotta watch.
Yeah, Luke, you'll fucking love it, dude.
This is it. Out of the Furnace.
I didn't see that. No.
This is a good movie. Woody Harrelson plays a. They live in Pittsburgh, and Christian Bale works in a steel mill. His brother is Casey Affleck, who comes back from Iraq, and he's a mixed martial artist. He would fight underground in Iraqi, and then he would fight underground here. And he gets there's big money to be made in these underground fighting circuits in Jersey. And he sets up a fight with Woody Harrelson's boy, but Woody Harrelson plays a real fucking piece of shit, drug addict, drug lord from Ramapo, New Jersey, like the real like Jackson Whites. Right? Just real fucking scumbag. And he gets involved with him, but Woody Harrelson knocks it out of the park with that movie. Anyway. Yeah, really good. Gotta check it out. Anyway, Jay, the other Jay, young Jay, are you going to be at Muscle Beach?
I will be at Muscle Beach.
Really?
There will be an Evolve booth there. I also have a client competing in it as well. Who I'm very confident in. He looks awesome right now.
Okay.
He's gonna do real good. Conditioning is really, really good. I'm excited for him,
Does he have an Instagram? Can we look him up?
Yeah, Lucas Lang Fit. You could probably see him on my coaching page too, even.
Yeah, he tagged me in a couple pictures, dude. He's in shape.
Yeah, he's peeled.
How old is he?
He's 22.
All right, let's see. Okay. What is his Lucas Lang? Lucas?
Yep. Lang.
Lucas Lang Fit. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. See, that's a recent one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it does look good. Is he doing classic or bodybuilding?
He's doing classic, and we're also going to cross over and do men's physique as well.
This is
very cool.
First show?
No, this would be his second show with me, his third show altogether.
Oh, okay.
When was his last show, Jay?
A year ago, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like double the size he was last time.
Yeah.
How old is he?
Why is he doing?
He's 22. Sorry.
I get classic, but why physique instead of bodybuilding?
Yeah.
He's got legs.
He does have legs, but I think he might be a little outsized in bodybuilding. I mean, I don't know. I guess he could be like a middleweight, I guess.
What are his like long-term ambitions?
I think he wants to like pursue this sport. Like, he's a really hard worker, man. Like this kid is actually super strong, trains very hard, and he's definitely one of the most consistent, athletes I've ever worked with.
Does he want to pursue classic, or is he?
I think he's more on the classic side. I mean, he brought his legs up tremendously, and he trains everything.
He's got a very pleasing physique. That's why I think classic would be a
Yeah.
better fit for him than men's physique.
It looks like he's making money other
What's so
way.
funny?
Is everybody else looking at this comment?
Yeah.
No. What is it? I missed it. What did it say?
It says, can I pay for fart vids? Now, who is this person that is asking for fart vids?
Nuggets.
Weirdos.
Oh, you see, that's not cool. We can't fucking see you. You want a fart video? We can't even see who you are. That's bullshit. But how come nobody ever asked me for a fart video or a masturbation video? I would gladly pay for it.
You didn't have Instagram in your day, John. I'm sure you would have.
What'd you say?
You didn't have Instagram when you were competing.
I have it now.
Yeah, a little different.
You don't want those. You don't want those.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways to make money nowadays in bodybuilding. It's more common than you think.
Yeah, apparently not me though.
I did some weird shit for money when I was younger.
Okay, like.
Yeah, we don't need to really talk about this much.
I'm not gonna like drop any names or anything, but
No, you don't have to mention names. But what did you do?
He has a list. He's got an Epstein list.
Well, there is no Epstein list.
There is no
list. Right?
Yeah.
When I was a team bodybuilder, I used to have this guy pay me to watch me eat.
What?
I'd just eat a meal in front of him. He'd pay me $300 cash, and I'm like, okay.
Why didn't so? What? Look.
Yeah, but I had guys that want to buy my shoes. They'd want me to wear my shoes and train in them with no socks.
Yeah, but you're like a high-end athlete. I get it. Jay was like a little boy.
Yeah, but look at me. Oh, see this guy?
There's nobody's offering you $300 to eat a meal now.
Ah, man, I'm getting old.
He's
Look,
out of his prime.
any freakazoids out there,
I'm not innocent.
I will videotape me masturbating with a walnut, whatever you want. Just message me. I need the money for fuck's sake.
I want to take a trip.
Holy shit. Unbelievable. Oh God. Anyway.
I could probably get you lined up with some gigs.
Thanks. As long as there's no penetration, I'm all in.
Jay will pimp you out.
Oh,
I'll pimp you out, yeah.
Unbelievable. Because Armand was saying it too. Armand was talking about it with King, that during the MySpace days, like guys would pay him to fucking send videos and stuff. And I was like,
well, that's because back then it was more of like a secret thing. Yeah. Now it's like everybody's gay. Like, everybody's openly gay. Like,
everybody's a fag.
It's not even cool anymore. It's like
right.
Like,
yeah, you got to be trans in order to be cool. Shit. You guys are fucked up. Let me tell you. All right, so Jay, Evolve Nutrition. Give it one more plug.
Yeah, Evolve Nutrition, East Hanover, New Jersey. I also have a coaching page. It's Team Homsi. It's my last name. Anybody needs a coach, you're trying to lose some weight, get in shape, you want to have a wedding coming up, you want to do a bodybuilding show. I help all kinds of athletes. And anybody looking for any vitamins, supplements, we do meals, Evolve Nutrition, East Hanover, New Jersey. We are sponsoring athletes as well if you are competing locally. We will be at the Muscle Beach coming up in 2.5 weeks, and also New Jersey State Championships in August.
Very cool. I will be there as well with the booth, but I will make sure that your Instagram stuff is in the description area so people can just click and go and contact you.
Thank you.
And Luke,
we'll have dinner after the show.
What'd you say?
We'll have dinner after the show.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Luke, are you doing the New York Pro in 26 or?
We'll see.
Yeah.
Luke, you coming to my show?
Yes, I'm coming to your show. I'm
free.
I'm free this time. I'm not doing anything. I'm coming.
Very cool. All right, cool.
Thank you.
All right, fellas. Thank you for another good episode. I will see you guys soon. Later.
Bye, boys.
Peace.